John chapter 4. When, therefore, the Lord came to know that the Pharisees had heard that Jesus was making and immersing more disciples than John, although Jesus himself was not immersing, but his disciples were, he left Judea and departed into Galilee. And it was needful for him to pass through Samaria. So he came into a town of Samaria, called Sychar, near the area of ground that Jacob gave to his son Joseph. Now Jacob's fountain was there, so Jesus, being weary from the journey, was sitting down in that disposition by the fountain. The hour was about the 6th. A woman from Samaria came to draw water. Jesus said to her, "Give me something to drink," for his disciples had gone away into the town so that they might buy food. Then the woman of Samaria said to him, "How is it that you, being a Judahite, ask for a drink from me, being a woman of Samaria? For Judahites have no familiar associations with Samaritans." Jesus answered and said to her, "If you had known the gift of God, and who it is who said to you, 'Give me a drink,' you would have asked him, and he would have given you living water." The woman said to him, "Sir, you have no bucket to draw with, and the well is deep. From where, then, do you get that living water? Surely you are not more eminent than our father Jacob, who gave us the well and drank out of it himself, as well as his sons and his livestock." Jesus answered and said to her, "Everybody drinking out of this water will be thirsty again. But whoever drinks out of the water that I will give him will certainly not thirst throughout the eon. But the water that I will give him will become in him a fountain of water springing up into Aeonian life." The woman said to him, "Sir, give me this water so that I will not thirst, nor come here to draw water." Jesus said to her, "Go, call your husband, and come back here." The woman answered and said, "I do not have a husband." Jesus said to her, "You say well, 'I have no husband,' for you have had 5 husbands, and the one whom you have now is not your husband. What you have spoken is true." The woman said to him, "Sir, I see that you are a prophet. Our fathers worshipped in this mountain, and you people say that the place where it is necessary to worship is in Jerusalem." Jesus said to her, "Woman, believe me, an hour is coming when you will worship the Father neither in the mountain nor in Jerusalem. You do not know whom you worship. We know whom we worship, for salvation is out of the Judahites. But an hour is coming, and is now on its way, when the real worshippers will worship the Father in spirit and truth, for the Father also looks for such people to worship him. God is spirit, and those who worship him must worship in spirit and truth." The woman said to him, "I know that Messiah is coming, who is called Christ. When he comes, he is going to clarify all these things for us." Jesus said to her, "I am he, the one speaking to you." And his disciples arrived at this point, and they were amazed that he was speaking with a woman, yet nobody said, "What are you looking for?" or "Why are you speaking with her?" Then the woman left her water jar and went her way into the town, and she said to the men, "Come and see a man who has told me everything that I have done. Could this be the Christ?" They went out of the town, and they were coming to him. In the meantime, though, his disciples urged him, saying, "Rabbi, you ought to eat." But he said to them, "I have food to eat that you do not know about." So the disciples said to each other, "Has nobody brought him anything to eat?" Jesus said to them, "My food is that I should do the will of him having sent me, and I might fulfill his work. You say, do you not, that it is only 4 months, and the harvest is coming? Look now, I say to you, lift up your eyes and see the fields, for already they are white, ready for the harvest. And he who reaps receives wages, and gathers fruit towards aeonian life, so that both he who sows and he who reaps might rejoice together. And in this is the true saying that it is one who sows and another who reaps. I sent you to reap what you did not toil over. Others have done the labor, and you have entered into their toils. And many of the Samaritans of that town believed in him on account of the words of the woman giving testimony, that he told me everything that I have done. So when the Samaritans came to him, they asked him to stay with them, and he stayed there for 2 days. And many more believed because of his words. And they were saying to the woman, "Now no longer because of your word do we believe, for we ourselves have heard, and we know that this truly is the Savior of the world, the Christ." Now after the 2 days he departed from there, and went away into Galilee. For Jesus himself gave testimony that a prophet has no honor in his fatherland. So when he came into Galilee, the Galileans received him, having seen all the things that he did in Jerusalem during the festival, for they went also to the festival. So Jesus again went into Cana of Galilee, where he had made the water become wine. And there was a certain royal official whose son was ill in Capernaum. Having heard that Jesus had come from Judea into Galilee, he went to him and asked him if he would come down and heal his son, for he was about to die. So Jesus said to him, "If you people do not see signs and wonders, you will not in any way believe." The royal officer said to him, "Sir, come down before my child dies." Jesus said to him, "Go your way, your son is alive." And the man believed the word that Jesus had spoken to him, and he went his way. And as he was still going down, his servants met him and spoke, saying, "Your boy is alive." So he inquired of them the hour in which he became better, and they said to him, "Yesterday, the 7th hour, the fever left him." So the father knew that it was the same hour in which Jesus said to him, "Your son is alive," and he himself believed, as well as his whole household. Jesus performed this second sign as he departed from Judea into Galilee.